Morning, folks. How are you today? Captain's Vlog. What day is it? It is hump day. And we're already kicking ass and taking names. Oh! This morning, we're going to get our third boat already, and it is 7-11 because I got lucky and I got a Napoleon to bring over here to start off with, and then two Finleys back to back. So we're gonna be heading over there. Cooter's already in front of me, and he's gonna give me a shout here in a little bit. Say he's gonna check and see if the scales open, because they've been full-time Smoky Bears been hanging out there big time. Last few weeks hitting it hard. They had to shut down for a while, and I was told that they put new cameras in that check the temperature on your brakes when you're coming into the scale now. I always go through there empty. I always tell anybody that asks, freaks out about it. I've never had any problems with those guys, you know, because I'm rolling through there empty, and they just see something like this and they think, oh, that's a cool truck. I keep it clean, you know, it looks decent, they don't bother me. It's not like I'm rolling in there with diesel fuel dumped down the side of my fuel tank and a big ass black mark where you can see that the bitch hasn't been washed in about 25 weeks. So, or the only time it gets washed is when it rains, which don't happen around here because, well, when I got home yesterday, I washed it up. So, I gotta go back over to Finley, see Nicole. Susan's got the day off, and Nicole's already bitching at me. You talk too much about me on your channel. I said, well, at least I talk about you and acknowledge the fact that you take care of me when I come into the place, so that's nice, but whatever, chick. And yeah, we're just doing it. Nice sunrise here, pretty with the clouds. It should be a super quick day unless I decide to run another one, which I highly doubt it, because like I said earlier, you know, previous things, I gotta get my kid this afternoon, so it is. We're doing it. What I'll be doing is going to get her later this afternoon. I'll probably take a nap, that way I'm not dying, because getting up early like this and you know, working all day and not really sleeping but maybe 5 hours at night, by the time 8 o'clock comes and I'm editing videos and stuff like that, I just toss the phone to the side and I can't even keep my eyes open, pass out and hope that everything went well by the time when I wake up. Check it. So I don't know if you can see them clouds or not, but wow, look at those. Creep through here, because for some reason, if you go too fast through there, there's cameras that take pictures of everything that goes through so they can see your chassis number, your container number, any damages. You know, they check for defects when they're coming in and stuff, and if you go too fast through there, the cameras can't take the pictures, and then you'll end up with some kind of error up here on a computer, and it won't let you go through. So then you got to call into the office and hassle with them and bug them, and they got to take care of you, which they're decent. They take care of me really well. I have no problems with them. They got a memorabilia room that's in there and in the office over there somewhere, and they've got a magazine of the blue truck that was in overdrive that I talked about, running out here to the CSX terminal, and then they've got a picture framed of the green truck's article, Frankenstein, that is in that room also, because I didn't get the magazines I was supposed to, the copies with that. I don't know what happened. And kind of irritated me, but whatever. I just took the magazine to copying place over in Defiance and give them out and frame them and stuff, and sent one into work so they could have one because they got that poster of the truck getting loaded by a crane, and the owner of the company said he wanted a copy of that. That way he could put it next to it. He thought that'd be cool, so I hooked him up. But then I've got magazine coming, 10-4 magazine. Frank Strohmeyer wrote an article about the Ashland show and sent in some stuff, and he did a little piece on me because he did a bunch of trucks and stuff in a state patrolman, and just kind of wrote little clips with a little screenshot or picture that he had all put together and stuff. And he did one on the blue truck when we were there. So I called over, I talked to him about it. He sent me the link and stuff, so then I talked to him about it, and I asked him, how I could get a magazine, and he gave me the phone number and let me know. So I called over there and talked to him, and they're going to be sending me one, so that'll be cool for my my own trucker memorabilia stuff and everything that I have. Which that should come here, I'd probably say about a week or so. It's coming from California, so. And then I may get a hold of them and say, hey, look, I've got a couple trucks. If you want to do something on them, you can. You're more than welcome to. I think it'd be cool. I like that stuff. I did call Nicole back, though, after I left, because when I was leaving the facility, there was a Crown guy that was pulling in as I was pulling out, and he stopped and took either a picture or video of the green truck. So I called Nicole real quick and I said, hey, can you tell that guy I got a channel, you know what I mean? And she's like, he already went, how am I supposed to do that? He already went through, and I'm like, well, I didn't know that they had a badge of their own. They could just go through the gates. I figured they'd have to stop and check in, but they didn't, so on there. Whatever. Maybe I'll see him again, and he's done that, I think, with the blue truck too. So I'll have to check it out. See if I see him in there, I'll say something to him. But who knows? Yeah, just look at that sky there. The clouds are just gorgeous. I need to stop somewhere and maybe take a picture or something, but I don't know. By the time I get over to Findlay, all that good stuff's probably going to be gone, so not sure I'll be able to. Because usually that's what happens. When I'm driving, I get to see all the good stuff, and by the time I get somewhere, it, goes away. Hopefully your angle's okay. I'm trying to hook me up on my phone so I can see and I can't tell. It's not letting me view it since it's already running. It's what it is. Now we'll try and catch up with Cooter. He's just banging it out. Cooter, he's just banging it out, man. Cooter likes to bang it out when he runs, and he runs hard and heavy, and it usually moves pretty quick, so I might get lucky and catch up with him. I don't know. He was leaving the ramp as I was getting back over there, so I did make a little bit of time on him, but just kind of fumbled around over there because I had to, use 15 minutes up while I was there for my log, which is not hooked up to anything except an app. So this is not a log book. This is a log book. I don't have to use paper. I have this tablet, which is the Keep Trucking app, which the company can keep tabs on me and stuff. But I can make whatever kind of edits I need to. It's not hooked up to the truck. Obviously, I don't have a plug for that. So I am on ELDs. I'm just not on ELDs, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of convenient. Because if I need to make an edit for some odd reason, and I can do whatever I want to with it. But they can go in and make edits too if they don't like something they see for some odd reason. Which I've had that happen a couple times. Like if I have the bobtail over to the ramp, but I go off duty in Napoleon the day before, but then I bobtail over to the ramp, I can run that off duty because I'm, personal conveyancing my truck. But I can't log in and start off in Findlay and then end up in Napoleon because they're like, how did you do that? So they went in and edited that stuff before. So basically what I got to do is, you know, go on duty in Napoleon driving and then, you know, bobtail over, which is kind of BS, but whatever. It's their rules. I just comply by them. I don't have to agree with them or anything like that, but like when I bobtail home off duty, I bobtail to Napoleon off duty. I go on duty when I get to Campbell's, and I go off duty when I go to Campbell's, when I get to Campbell's on the way back. Because there's no point for me to burn up my time driving that 15-20 minutes from the house over to Napoleon. So that's one of them situations that I just deal with and do, that I can get away with. They're like, well, they tell these guys that are hooked up to their trucks, and these are owner-operators we're talking about. They tell them they're not allowed to drive their truck on the weekend to the shop without being on duty or anything like that because their truck's hooked up to it. They're like, that's bullshit. I should be able to drive my truck. Personal conveyance. They told them they can't use their truck for personal conveyance to go to the shop to get maintenance done on it. They got to do that on working hours, and I'm like, that's about a freaking crock. Which I don't. I run my trucks all over the place whenever I want to because, well,
first of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for
I
this?
pay insurance on them, and I pay for the license plate, so I'll do what I want.
It was unbelievably painful. First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this? It was unbelievably painful.
Well, let's see where he's at. I should be over here still, because I don't think he would have been flying FS. He's already at the gate getting ready to leave. So we'll holler at Cooter when we pull up over in here. Come on, what are you gonna make a freaking full stop? I'm talking about nobody at the welcome center, so one truck, no line, no wait, no nothing like that. That's always nice. But as soon as they see me coming, they already lifted the gate. I bet it's for that guy. But as soon as they see me coming, they already start working on my stuff. They find me an empty spot to drop it, and then as soon as I come in with the paper, they hand it to them. It's got the pickup number on. They write that down. Boom. I'm out the door. Not even in there long enough to have a conversation about what I did on the last video they just watched usually, but it's all good. See if we can get a reply. He might be out of truck right now. But you're a big time truck driver. You leaving yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken coop's still closed there. Come on back or what?
I had a pin in my mouth.
Eating damn pin, you're gonna catch coronavirus. Alright, well, I just seen Nicole. She's already in there. She just popped out the door. She's looking at stuff, so I'll be back sometime here after a bit. Not sure what's going on besides, you know, going back to Napoleon. Maybe I'll do some more, maybe I won't. I don't know. I guess the time will tell. So I got to get out so she can check my trailer and I can boogie on through here and get my day done. Just hooked up over here to Finley to our trailer. Let's get out and do a walk around. Got some issues with this guy right here. Reading a little low. Sometimes I don't know what goes on. Something happens, and the old alternator, as Derek would say, the charging whirler kicks down for some reason if I rev it up too much, or, you know, go to give it a bump or downshift, and the belts will start to squeal, so it tears them up. And then that stuff happens. I got to change them out. I tried to tighten them yesterday when I got home, but it just wasn't enough. But yeah, we're not looking too bad. And it's not too bad out right now. It's about 32, I think. Feels like 26 last time I checked, and that's what it's been basically pretty much. But it's supposed to be 50 today, so that's a good thing. And I've got a subscriber and a friend that I'm friends with on Facebook that lives over in overseas, and they drive a Cabover 2021, and they're going to go. I asked them if they could do a walk around and kind of explain what they go through during the elements of the wintertime and stuff like that. So what's going to happen is I got a clip here. It's about 6 minutes and 30 seconds long that they're going to do a walk around of that new truck, and they're going to explain it, some of the things about it, their weather that they deal with over there, and you know, just what it's like driving a newer truck. So hopefully enjoy, and you know, you like the information that they're providing, because I didn't know any of this stuff until I seen this video. So hopefully enjoy it, and you know, we say until next time, we will see you.
Well, good evening. I'm hoping everybody can hear me on this. Just been asked to do a bit of a short video more than anything for Chad Keegan, one of my friends on Facebook who's basically got a YouTube channel. Just wanted to know pretty much what we do in England as regards to winterizing the trucks that we have here in the UK. To be quite perfectly honest, not really a lot to tell compared to maybe what you guys do across the pond in the US. I think for us, our winters aren't severe compared to what you guys have. Just doing a bit of a quick walk around, so I apologise for the camera being a bit skewy from whatever. But yeah, in terms of winterizing, we don't, to be quite perfectly honest, because like I say, our winters aren't nowhere near as bad as what you guys have. I think it's just basically a case of just keep a general check on the vehicle in terms of the filters, air dryer, batteries, which are situated on the back. This one being a 2021 Volvo FH. 2 battery packs under there, 12 volts each. I think more than anything, it's just making sure that the antifreeze is kept topped up. The truck is in good roadworthy condition, and pretty much about all I can say, really. We don't, like I say, we don't do winterizing here in the UK because there's just no need for it, and it doesn't warrant it. But yeah, just in case anybody is interested in seeing this, obviously in the States, I think Chad is going to try and put this up on one of his videos. Things are a bit different for us in terms of air and electrical hookups. As you can see, we've got a lot more electrical hookups than what you would have in the US. We have a 3-line system and obviously 2 lines for the air brakes. Primary and secondary electricals, and the large one that's situated near the large plug is for the ABS, which has to be hooked up. This one is basically rated at 44 ton, basically a 6x2 configuration with a mid-lift push axle. Run-up ramps on the back, which I don't use for hitching trailers. I always drop the air ride Obviously the sliding fifth wheel, which is basically a Fontaine make, riding on a sliding bed. In terms of the truck itself, like I say, it's a 2021 500 horse 6x2 configuration. It's a standard vehicle, so we don't touch anything in regards to winterizing. Just give you a quick look inside. Fire extinguishers we have to carry as part of our work. Volvo's own I-shift transmission, and another thing which we have, which may be a bit similar to what you guys have abroad in terms of the US. I'll just put the key in the ignition and I'll be able to show you the tachograph, which records the driving hours.
I can't tell you, it's changed our lives. Anyway, we got a message.
The digital tacho, which we have to insert every morning, records the driving hours. I know that some of you guys over there are still on the good old-fashioned logbook, and also the e-logs over there. But in terms of what we do, it's obviously probably a bit different. I know you guys winterize trucks over there, but we don't over here. It's something that we've never had to do. Not really much to say really, but apart from the fact that pretty much the truck that's that I'm currently driving at the moment, I've been with these guys for quite a long time, to be honest, and yeah, so I can't give you more information, but like I say, I think the only trucks that be winterized are the ones that are probably used in Northern Europe, Norway or Sweden. They would be winterized, obviously for the conditions they have, but in terms of the UK, we don't do anything. We just make sure the tyres are good, the trucks are properly maintained every 6 weeks. The oil changes are done once a year, that the batteries are good. Obviously the antifreeze in this truck isn't even a year old yet, so we know that's still good. But in terms of winter trucking over here, I've never had any issues with any problems with the trucks freezing up in terms of coolant or the air braking system. The trucks we run here are Swedish, Scania or Volvo, so in terms of that, never any issues. Like I say, I know things are somewhat a lot harsher for you guys in the States, so yeah, sorry this couldn't be more useful, but like I say, we don't really do anything. I don't think many hauliers do here in the UK in terms of winterizing trucks. I think it's just a case of just get in them and brave the elements and just keep on trucking, basically. 9 times out of 10 we never have any issues anyway. So, but yeah, just a quick video for Chad. Thank you very much.
Well folks, this is exactly what I'm talking about. There's a Schneider driver over here. We're at Campbell's, and this trailer is super low. These legs were raised all the way up, and he said, I asked him if he dropped it. He said no. He said he was over here yesterday trying to get it. He said this is his 2nd day driving ever. Now, why would you send a driver out that has no clue about what they're doing into a situation like this? If I see him, I'd call up the dispatch and I'd say, the trailer's dropped too low, give me another load, or, you know, something else. Because the guy doesn't know what's going on. I asked him if he wanted to, you know, interview for the channel. He said no. He's over there struggling, trying to jack it up and raise it. But I just told him, I said, man, put that thing in high gear and go. And I said, it'll probably take you about an hour, but he's getting it. You know, it's 42,000 plus pounds, and it's sitting on an angle on an incline. So stuff in the streets, man, especially when you're new. It's cold out, so he's, you know, his body's probably tensing up on him and stuff like that. He keeps on taking breaks and stuff, and it just sucks to be like that. You know, the the stuff, you know, Cooter's over here too with me. He's getting ready to pull out. We run over together so we could talk shit to each other on the CB, but yeah, I'm just doing a little tuggy even though I just looked at it and stuff. You know, it just sucks because a new driver put in a situation like that. I mean, at least he's gonna learn. At least he's gonna learn. So, you know, I guess it's a benefit to it, but I don't know, man. Sometimes what these companies are thinking, what they're doing to people, and why they'd even put them in that type of situation. Mike, I'm curious about who on the channel that watches, subscribers and all, has a CDL as an actual truck driver. That's what I'm curious about. Let me know in the comments how long you've been driving or had your CDL. Because sometimes I get some off-the-wall Captain Obvious comments from people, and I'm just curious about, like, are you even a truck driver? Do you even have a CDL? Do you even know what you're talking about? But then it seems like little Captain Obvious stuff, and then they'll keep watching, they'll be like, oh yeah, you were right about it. And I'm like, I know, that's why you have to pay attention sometimes. Unfortunately, I blab a lot, but you know, it's kind of one of them situations that's just what it is. But yeah, I feel terrible for the guy. Went over and cranked it up, got it to gear, you know, the way it needed to be going and stuff like that, and just told him, I said, it's gonna take you about an hour, dude, so just keep cranking and you'll finally get it one of these days and be able to roll out. So I don't know if this is gonna be it for all today or not, so I don't know. I guess we'll come back later. If not, you know what we say, we will see you. Well, just popped in the old fuel place like I do because I was running a little low and I was going to need some to run tomorrow and then Saturday when I come back out, and I figured might as well get it because when I talked to the dispatcher about tomorrow, she said that she gave me another load. She asked me if I want to say yeah, so I figured I'd take it. And just popped in here. What a good experience. Lines were pretty much full. There was one spot open. There's a gentleman out here cleaning the fuel islands with a pressure washer and whatever scrubby thing that he uses to clean all the diesel and grime and shit off. Well, he was moving from the right lane and he was moving on over, you know, to the lane that somebody was pulled up in that lane. Well, they were backing up in the parking lot when I was trying to pull in, so I waited, and they moved over from the lane that they were at, okay? Now, the guy was moving his equipment from the one lane to the lane that, and I pulled up through there because I thought, man, if he's not, you know, gonna do it, I'll go through there. But then he was moving his equipment, so I pointed at it and I just gave him the thumbs up, and you know, I started turning off the other way. He said, gave me the whoa, he said come on through, so he let me fuel, which is fantastic. He waited, he went and took a break, smoked a cigarette. So I popped out, gave him a picture, you know what I'm saying, because I've got some pictures of the Frankenstein truck now that I'm now giving out. And I don't know if I talked about this or showed it or not, but you know, so I'm giving these out when I see people, you know, out on the road or anything like that. They say, I like your truck, this and that. I talk about the channel, I'll give them out a picture. So I'm fueling up and I see a gentleman and a gal come out, and he looked like a stud, had some necklaces on and stuff like that, cowboy hat, blue jean, fur coat, all that stuff. And he's like, I like your truck. And I said, you know, I said the same thing, you want a picture? He's like, sure. I'm like, I got some. So I jumped in there, gave him one of the blue truck. He's like, nice fucking truck. I'm like, that's what's up, thanks. So yeah, hopefully we got a new subscriber. And if you see this for some odd reason and you're watching, drop a comment so I can say thanks and appreciate it. So it was like that kind of, you know, appreciation when they see the truck like this and they tell me that. So all right, now I'm gonna get back to work and stop blabbing because, well, we got to make some money. So well, folks, I'm back at the house and I'm gonna change these belts out real quick because I don't like that running down at 12. When I first bought the truck, that's how it ran down at 12, and the belts always squeaked and they were kind of loose. I'd tightened them up, just didn't work. And I had went through, I don't know how many different belts trying to figure out and find the right belt for that, because I had used the Napa belt. I went to AutoZone and got different belts. And unfortunately, they gave me two that were, the grooves were always on the inside. And that thing just chewed them up for some reason. And I'll take you out there in a minute and show you what I'm talking about in the situation that's going on. But I've got these two right here. And this V-belt is a lot better. and it's not exactly rubber. So I use 2 3/4. That's it, these. And let's go out here and I'll show you what I'm talking about, what's going on, and I'll show you the bolts that I have to take off basically to do this, and then I'll probably just change them because there's no reason for you to be bored and watch me change belts, because I'm sure you've changed belts, but me explaining is probably just good enough. So right down here, we got one bolt that's right here holding this up, and this is a brand new alternator that I put on because I thought the old one was bad. Well, the old one was fine, it was just the belts and the situation that was going on. And I don't know if you can see or not, but this one right down here is twisted, and this one's kind of loose, so they're you know, they're not doing what I want them to do. I mean, they're okay and they're not squealing, but I can sit there and turn that, and I don't necessarily want to do that. I don't want to sit there and continue to tighten these up, because up here, if you can see this guy right here, there's this bolt right here, the tensioner, and there's a bolt down on the bottom where my finger's going down that you can loosen up, and you can drop this thing to be able to pull these off. And then you basically pull this back, tighten it up, loosen this up, and crank that bottom one to where it's tight and they're tight enough. I mean, now they've got enough tension on them and they're not too bad, so, but I just want them to be charging at 14 like they were before, and those have lasted me a year, and probably from sitting over the winter time and stuff with salt on them and all that crap not being ran, you know, they just kind of got wore out. And once I get them off and changed, I'll show you where they're chewing up and stuff like that. But I actually took those other belts with me this morning, because when I fired the truck up, well, I tightened it up yesterday after I washed them, or before I washed them. Then I ran the truck down the road because I wanted to get some of the water off, because I knew it was going to be cooler and I didn't want anything freezing, you know. So I ran the truck down the road. They were about 13, then they kicked back down to 12 volts. So I thought to myself, well, I'll grab these belts this morning. That way, if for some odd reason I need to change them while I'm out on the road, I can if something happens. But fortunately, I made it all day with, you know, running at 12 volts. It didn't get down any under. I could have the heater on, all the lights, you name it, flashers, and I had no problems. Radio, subwoofer, blah, blah, blah. Everything running, and it just ran at 12. Well, I want it to run higher than that because that's what I can get it to run. So that's what I prefer, because I want those to make sure those batteries are charged and I don't end up going dead for some odd reason and get stranded somewhere with dead batteries, because nobody wants to do that, especially without having the belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change those out, and then Friday I'm probably going to call up. I get them from Advanced Auto, and I'm going to have them get me not only 2 more new ones, but 4. That way I have them, you know, for if something happens, because I think they're like $5, $10 belts, so I might as well have them just in case I need them, and then I can throw an extra set in the truck just in case something happens, because with it getting colder and stuff like that, those belts, they just kind of, you know, they get hard, and until I get that winter front on and can keep some of that heat in there, they're gonna get that cold and stuff, and every time it rains or they get wet, you know, they might start to slip a little bit and then start to get chewed up, and I don't want that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my game plan. So I'm going to go change those out real quick, and then when I get them swapped out, I'll show you the other ones and how they're getting chewed up a little bit. So, well, folks, I'm back. I got them changed. These new ones are kind of a pain in the butt to get on because they're so stiff, and I don't know if you can see or not, but I'll get you as close as possible. You see that little groove there at the tip? Yeah, that's what was causing the issue there. It was cut down in there, just cut down in there over time, and it, you know, wore down to where it would sit there and run lower voltage. So I'm going to keep these around until I get the other ones. I do keep the cardboards. They are 15,560. Now, when I went to the other places, I was getting 15,565 or something, until we finally figured out this is what I needed, because I had, you know, tried different things and would go and get different sizes, put them on, they wouldn't work. I'd come back and, you know, grab something else, and finally these worked, and this is the number that I needed. And I just didn't like the fact that I got 2 different belts. One was a rubber one, and then one was like this from AutoZone, and one was fatter and one was skinnier. So then when I called up this place, they got me both of these, and then I just gotten 4. But now obviously I'm down to just the 2 new ones that are on the truck. So I'm going to keep these around, that way if I need them, just in case. and then we can go out and fire the truck up, and I will see if it, you know, did what I needed it to, because that's what I need it to do. What I need it to do, what I want it to do, and charge higher. Like I said, I don't want it running down 12. I mean, it's fine, and I could do that, but when it gets super cold, I would rather have the batteries up than lower. So I'll jack the cab back down, and I need to turn it on and fill up those bags anyways. I don't like when my cab's sitting down. Those bags will stay full, so I like when the old air ride is up. I gotta put that switch back because I dumped the air when I get home. Always do that way. I get all the moisture out of my tanks. That way, if there's any moisture in my tanks, I get it out, because I don't want any water in there running through my air system or anything like that, or having any moisture in my tank. So let's see. Well, still only running 12 for some reason. I guess I'll let it run here for a while, and hope that that'll come up some. Get down there and look at it and see what's going on. I tightened it up, but I didn't like over tighten it, and I don't think I'll need to tighten it any more than what it is, but I'll let it run for a while, then I'll check it out, come back, you know, do the dance. So hopefully I'll get to where I want it, because that's what I want it, where I want it. So I don't know, I guess I'll come back with an update later. Probably not today, because it's going to conclude today, because I got to go do some things, and then I'm going to have to run up and grab my daughter. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today, and the clip that was in there from the subscriber that was overseas, and you know, hopefully you guys all have a good Thanksgiving. So until next time, you know what we say: like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell. That way you get notifications every time I post something new, because you never know when I'm going to post something new, because I've been posting stuff new a lot. So until next time, we will see ya.